Hello, hello, hello. Let me get the microphone over here. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Woo! Oh boy, I tell you, what a wicked laugh I have sometimes. Um, oh, Danny boy, the lights are shining on every scandal and all your shady sides. Let's see. Let's see. What's that? Karma train has arrived for those who have caused Harry and Meghan so much stress and pain. Dan Wooten deserves all the bad karma coming his way. And then some. Hi, Sherry Ware. Okay. I didn't set off my iPhone that time. Every time I say hi, Sherryware, it thinks I'm talking to it. It wants to search for something for me. So I have to be careful how I say that. Nubian Queen, welcome. Annie Bullard, thank you so much for being here. Let's see, who else is here? Jan Martin, Lorna Williams, Church Nellie. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll through and through and through. Brenda Gray, BS Speaks Royally, Ingrid Soares, hello. Scrolling by real fast, gonna miss a bunch of people, but I'll say hi individually. Okay, and just want to get to the very last comment. Elaine Parker. Hi, Elaine Parker. Thank you so much for being here. Mm. There's nothing like a nice cold cup of orange juice or glass. It's like sipping. Thank you, Kim Coates. Thank you very much. And thank all of you for subscribing to Royal Sussex. Okay, so let's get on with it, shall we? There's a playground. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Playground. It's not playground, it's playground. Oh, Lord. Boy, I tell you, that's what I get for Russian. Um, it's playground. Let me see. Yeah, I did that. I sure enough did that. I can see what I did here. Let me see. Don't worry, I'm not gonna fix it right now. I'll take care of it later. Playground. Boy, that'll bring them in, won't it? Playground. See what I get when I'm all feeling shady and ready to mix it up. Okay, I'm just kidding. I am gonna fix that. Oh man, how could I do that? I know how I did it. I was rushing. Okay, playground. Meet you on the playground. Oh man. All right. I'm sorry. Having a senior moment here. Okay. I got it. I got it. And I'll do that. Aha. And sort it. Thank you so much for your patience, everyone. Aha. There we go. Wunderbar. Uh-huh. There we go. It's fixed. Okay. So, anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? I will go here. Oh, by the way, let me see here. Black Queen says, Baron, Dan Dan Booty was infiltrated with our Ginger Avenger. No wonder he hates and resents our Meg so much. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Infiltrated by. I do have something to say about that later on, though. Again, thank you so much for your super sticker. It is, or should I say, it has come to my notice, and probably a few other people, that Dan Wooten seemed to be fixated with Harry over the years in a way that I think is rather bizarre and unhealthy. But now that we know the real Dan, you know, I think it's a classic case of having a burner account, right? And ill intentions, right? So let's go on, shall we? Oh, before I do that, let me take that away. I'm getting ahead of myself. Thank you, everyone, for the 35,000 subscribers. We celebrated yesterday, so we won't need to do that again. But thank you all so much. Could not have done it without your support, each and every one of you. And it has been a long road to 35,000. But of course, thank you, VS. If this was one of those hate channels, it would be 200, 300,000. But this channel is about love and also setting the record straight. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's enough to make me want to blow my horn. That's right. It's enough to make you want to blow your horn. Oh boy. So we won't do the dance, but we will sound the horns in celebration, just like one of those great ships of the Atlantic. So, so the the SS Royal Sussex is sailing the waves steady and sure. Oh, I have nothing else to do I? That was shady and cruel and mean, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Oh Lord. It just reminded me of one of those big air horns on a ship. What? What? Okay, okay, okay. We did enough about that yesterday. We are better than that. Well, you all are better than that. I'm not. Um, oh man. Um, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist, you guys. I saw it and I had to go there. So okay, I got that out my system. Oh, do you love it or no? Oh, thank you so much for all the congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. Okay. All right. Yulibi, okay. Willie needs money to fight homelessness by 2028. And Katie needs to bail out mommy and daddy. By the way, Woo Woo have the hots for our ginger adventure. I know, and that's been a thing. Thank you so much, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker. I thought it was the tugboat captain for a minute, but it was old Hamilla getting ready to race. Oh boy. Okay, so Omid Scobie posted this. I'm guessing fact checking isn't a thing in Cuckoo Land. This site is nothing more than a bogus middleman service offering booking ops with every public figure out there, including Kate, who doesn't do paid public speaking. Well, um, I didn't think there was ever a possibility that anybody with good sense was going to pay money for Kate Middleton to, do a speaking engagement. I knew the likelihood was slim to none. And of course, we did reach out to Kensington Palace for comment.
Obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
Right. And so that is why I am more than sure that was a bogus advertisement. Um, from what I hear, literally, that was a bogus advertisement. So pay no attention to that. If you see that, report it to the authorities. Yulibi Nunez Diodario, a super sticker. Thank you so much for that. And by the way, happy Thursday to you. Goodness, this week is going by fast. Happy Thursday to you, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, so again, if you happen to see that anywhere, just please, as a matter of fact, contact Kensington Palace so that they can take care of it. All right, so the woo-woo. The woo-woo. In the past, we have had to deal with Dan Wooten going after just about anybody that he can punch down to, punch up to, punch directly at. He has been a prime example of what a media bully is. He fits right in. Black Queen, there is a copyright on that one, and I tried to fight it the last time, and it is a bogus copyright, and they do that from time to time, and I'm so sorry I'm not able to use that one anymore because that's my favorite, but unfortunately there is a copyright on that one, so unless I can figure out another way. But yeah, some music group had made a song months ago, even though I've used that for over a year, and YouTube has sided with them. So I'm no longer able to use it. But yes, that is my fave, and I appreciate you asking about it. But yeah, that's why I don't do that one anymore. But I don't know. Maybe one day, I hope. But thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you for asking about that one. Yeah, that was my go-to, and I'm not able to use it anymore. So, if you guys recall, I was inspired by one of Dan Wooten videos where he said that it was much easier for the Sussexes to blame anything uncomfortable on the media rather than them understanding that all of the negativity is coming from the royal family. That's what Dan Wooten said. And the thing is, Dan Wooten actually went to school and this is just all a big coincidence, I'm sure. But Dan Wooten went to school with um, Jason Knopf. They went to school, they were in the same university in New Zealand. And where was Jason Knopf working? At Kensington Palace. Dan Wooten and Jason Knopf. Now, that doesn't mean that there was any improprieties. That doesn't mean that there was any information passed on. We can't assume the worst, but it sure looks bad. It looks very, very strange that the person who threatened the Sussexes to either fess up to leaving the UK or I'm going to tell a story. You got 10 days. And conveniently, that information likely came from Kensington Palace. So he has been a force of nature where negativity and bullying through the press is concerned. Like, for instance, the slide that I just put up there, I'll let you hear that one for yourself. Okay.
Much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press. Much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press. Much of the negativity to...
So, there you've heard it 3 times. Much of the negativity. He's even admitting that it is negativity, not the information, not the story, but much of the negativity. He's telling you that all those things are negative. How is he going to handle the situation he's in now? I hope we find out. I hope we find out. I hope this is not going to be yet another one of those stories that just seems to go away. Like, for instance, how I really broke the news of the M word I never use and gave Harry and Meghan 10 days warning to handle the situation before we published in The Sun. Plus, my view on why the Sussexes are becoming professional victims. Thank you, Press Gazette. He was boasting about his role in forcing Harry and Meghan to admit they were leaving. Now, the bad thing about that is not so much that they had to finally say it, but the timing could not have been more awkward, not to mention the fact that then after that, the press went on this huge media blitz where they accused the Sussexes of blindsiding the Queen. There was even a headline for the paper. They didn't even tell the Queen. They blindsided the Queen. Knowing all along that this had been in negotiation for months. For months. And the reason why it came out so abruptly, and of course, it made the Sussexes look bad thanks to the press misleading people. Dan Wooten. That was a Dan Wooten. That was yet another Dan Wooten who always, just like Hoghead and a few other people, always insert themselves into the story. They always make the story about themselves in some kind of way. And because this wasn't enough about him, he decided he had to go back and remind us. Right? Oh, you know what? That's out of order. That is out of order. Let me see here. Okay, you know what? I will come back to that one. Let's continue with woo woo. Let me continue with woo woo. All right, so there we go. Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm a sad little man. That is what Harry referred to Dan in his book, The Sad Little Man, because of his obsession with Harry. And then, of course, Harry and Meghan. And today, Cold War Steve decided, I think this is one of his new works. If you're not familiar with Cold War Steve, he takes the contemporary headlines, the headlines of the day, and he makes these very interesting art pieces, like this one, where he has, I guess, if you had to interpret this, you can see the Tories back there burying a lot of information about everything that was going on during the lockdown. And of course, there is Dan Wooten sitting with Hugh, what's his name? The one that's, in trouble with the BBC. There he is sitting there talking about that. And the shadow behind them is the This Morning person who really should be all we're talking about right now, but we're not. And so if history is any indication of what we can expect, this will probably stir up a bit, I hope. We haven't even got there yet. It hasn't been in all the papers yet. It hasn't been a big thing amongst all the media yet. I suspect, seeing that he has written for The Sun and he has written for the Daily Mail, we can't expect them to give us too much. They maybe they'll do it like they did with Andrew. They'll say the few obligatory things about it, and then all of a sudden, nothing. They may not even go that far. I mean, like right now, I'm looking at the Daily Phil for the UK. No mention of it. Not a word. Not a word. Not the first, not the second, nothing. And this is the UK. They have plenty to say about Hugh Edwards, but nothing about old Danny Boy. Not a word. So let's see if this gets any traction. I'm not optimistic about it because he may be very well protected by the media. He may be very well protected. Perhaps Hugh Edwards is easily sacrificed. They couldn't help but talk about This Morning. But as for Woo Woo, I don't see anything. Not a word. Yeah, nothing about Dan Wooten. So let me see what you guys are saying here. Wow, what did I miss? What did I miss? The diabolical smile, leather wearing apple ornamental face. Oh man. Birds of a feather flock together. Thank you, Anfu. Let me see. Marsha says, sounds to me, Baron, that somebody put the whammy on you to prevent you from using the. Yeah, Marsha. This is what happens. This is quite common in on YouTube. Is that the fake the content creator who has something similar, the AI identifies it, and then they will share it with the other person's account, and they'll say possible copyright infringement. Now they've seen the video, and it's a ban. Whoever operates that account, they know better, but they're afraid they're going to lose money. So they say, yeah, that's a copyright infringement. I have had to fight this many times and have been able to overcome the other content creator. This time, not. Maybe in the future, but for now, but no, it's not a thing where somebody's done something. It's a thing with all YouTube. If you have anything that looks like somebody else's, then sometime the AI will come after you. So it happens sometimes. It's an occupational hazard. So yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I do miss that video. But yeah, nobody's like singling me out. I don't want to give that impression. The royal palaces have a rodent problem, and some British media are alleged to to be having a relationship of sorts, problems. Hopefully, they clean up their own glass houses before trying to do others. Yeah, that and people in power tend to operate above the law, as though they're above the law, rather. And that is something that. Oh, by the way, I put a fig leaf on Boris Johnson because some people, this is their dinner hour. Some people may be having breakfast, and I just did not want to. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to make anybody sick by looking at that by looking at that. Okay, so there was an article that says sex scandal. Dan Wooten's latest presenter to face allegations. Now, I've never heard of this magazine before. It's an online magazine, I guess. It's called Democracy Unlocked. Democracy Unlocked. And they say, let me see here. Let me pull this down. Oh, there we go. I'll do that. I know it's probably kind of difficult to see it, but it says Dan Wooten's ex-boyfriend, Alex, has made serious allegations against the GB News presenter, including claims of stalking, emotional bullying, and involvement in a disturbing incident. Alex revealed in his experiences on Twitter thread, shedding light on the alleged misconduct that occurred during their relationship. In detailed thread, Alex stated that his relationship with Wooten, which lasted from 2009 to 2013, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that anybody could tolerate him that long. Dan Wooten, that is. In the detailed thread, was a profoundly distressing period of his life. He claimed that Wooten had gained unauthorized access to his social media accounts and email without his knowledge, leading Alex to suspect he was being stalked. The intrusion became evident when Alex says he discovered that his Gmail account had been regularly accessed from the News of the World office, where Dan Wooten was employed at that time. So it continues, this article. It says, according to Alex's account, the troubling incident took place while Wooten was visiting his family in New Zealand. During this period, Alex stayed at Wooten's flat to care for their cat. It was during this time that Alex says he stumbled upon a locked bag hidden behind the washing machine. Alex states that he managed to open it and found an external hard drive inside. Ooh, that's interesting. On this hard drive, Alex claims he discovered a video. This is Alex's words now, not mine. He discovered a video of one of Wooten's acquaintances who happened to be a Sun employee engaged in sexual activity with their partner. The video seemed to have been filmed without knowledge using a hidden camera, according to Alex. Alongside the video, there was a transcript, claims Alex, of an MSN conversation between the Sun employee's partner and the individual identified as Martin Branning. The transcript suggests that, unbeknownst to the Sun employee, an arrangement had been made to secretly create the sex tape in exchange for £500, it became apparent to Alex that Martin Branning was an alias used by Dan Wooten based on his observation. In February, following the tragic death of Carolyn Flack, Alex stated that he decided to share the story of his discoveries on Twitter using his old account. However, he claims he was promptly contacted by a mutual friend on behalf of Wooten, who exerted significant pressure on him to remove the tweets. Feeling intimidated by the potential consequences from Wooten, Alex said he reluctantly took down the tweets but shared them initially to ensure that someone might recognize the name Branning. Subsequently, Alex stated that he received a message from a former colleague of Wooten's who claimed to have been harassed by Martin Branning. The message further implied that the other colleague from The Sun had also experienced similar encounters. Democracy Unlocked understands that the incident was reported to the Met Police by Alex. However, no action was taken. GB News presenter Dan Wooten has also been absent from Twitter this week and has not appeared on his program, GB News. Instead, he has been temporarily replaced by another presenter. GB News and Dan Wooten did not respond to numerous requests for comment. These allegations are based completely on Alex's account, and steps have been taken to verify such information. Wow. How about that, you guys? How about that? So, give me a second for my eyes to adjust. I have it here with a white background, but I was looking at a black background, and that makes my eyes burn. So give me a second. Baron, I'm so mad. We want our stuttering boy mimicking mumbles. Baron, fight harder in a few. They don't own that crazy. Yeah, I know. And it took over a month before they got back to me, but so far they're not budging. And I went and I looked at the other video, and I promise you, they did use that speech from the little boy, but the music, they have it set to music. It is not identical. And so, yeah, it's crazy that people are able to do that. But I've never mentioned this to you guys, but there has been a lot of things that I had to fight for. And I could just delete it, that portion of it, so I can get paid for my work. But I fight it, with the hopes that they will eventually, see it my way. And most times they do, but this time they did not. I could not believe it. But it is worth trying again. It is definitely worth trying again. But I tell you what, I will do. And I made a short out of that. I did a short a long time ago. And nothing happened with that. But then these people come along, and then that happened. So it really stinks on hot ice. And I'm very sorry that we don't have use of it. But what could I say? It is one of those little weak points of the YouTube that has been trouble for a lot of people. Let me see. Ann Fu says, the Almighty Justice is slow, but sure, and we are seeing what an awesome God we have. Amen to that. Okay. All right. So right here, oh yeah, that's the ending part of what I just read. But look at that. Look, that's the photo that article used, that photo right there. Kind of like a deer in headlights, right? But let's take another look at Dan. So this is a close-up of the wait, is this a little different? Wait 1 second, you guys. Let me take a look here. Oh, I wonder who that is. Okay, so you can look over Dan's shoulder and there's no one there. Now, when you see a Cold War Steve work, you have to really delve into it. Oh, that's a detective. That's a detective. I get it now. He is showing his badge. You guys see that? That's what that is. That is a commentary from Cold War Steve saying, uh, we need your passport. Yeah, we'll take your passport now. Oh man, that is a commentary from Cold War Steve. I totally missed that. And now that I'm looking at what's different about it, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't see that guy the first time. Yeah, this is why I love Cold War Steve. Awesome commentary. But yeah, he cropped it and he added a detective over Dan Wooten's shoulder. Well, again, the big elephant in the room is supposed to be the person on all those monitors back there. But the truth is, there's quite a few people who have a lot to answer for. Um, I'm afraid that they have managed to shut down so many of these things that they're going to try to do it again if there's any merit to this story. However, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all of the time. Or as George Bush said, Junior Bush, that is, um, back in Texas, where I come from, there's an old saying: you can fool some of the people some of the time, but uh, uh, but you won't fool me again. Do you remember he said that? Oh my God. Well, I went to the theater to see Fahrenheit 9/11, and that was the very end of the documentary, was George Bush saying, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but yeah, but you won't fool me again. I want you to know that you could hear my mouth all the way out in the parking lot. I screamed. That was the perfect way to end that movie, was with a quote from the very unwise, never knowing, dumb as a box of rocks, George Bush. Oh man. So yeah, that's the other way to say it according to George Bush. So I wonder what's going on in Montecito right now. And of course, as we all know, in Montecito, there are no leaks. However, I'm sure someone on the staff at the Montecito uh, family has probably sounded the horn about this matter. So surely someone has sounded the, or maybe not. I don't know. Uh, so Dan allegedly used the name Maria Joseph to catfish straight men. Allegedly. Now we don't have any evidence about that, right? I'm only going by what's been reported is that he has been catfishing people. Now, I could believe that. It doesn't take high technology. It doesn't take anybody particularly brilliant. But again, Dan Wooten is not here to speak for himself, so we don't know for sure that that is actually a thing. However, it's been alleged, and that's it. Nobody knows for sure. It's been alleged that Dan Wooten has And as you know, some time ago, someone made the app where they did the transition for Dan Wooten. Um, we still don't know where that image came from, but as you can see, the resemblance is clearly there. You know, I've been digging into my archive, right? I have been digging and digging and digging. Um, I know that photo. People have been spreading that photo here, near, here, there, and everywhere. I have been seeing this. Bad, bad, bad to the bone. Bad. Yeah, when I look at this, it looks like some old blues guitarist. Bad, bad to the bone. Yeah, that's what I see when I look at that photo. I'm either thinking foghorn or someone singing "Bad to the Bone." Oh man. Okay, okay. Bad, bad to the bone. So, if you guys are familiar with Royal Sussex, you know I'm always looking for the latest quote from none other than Dr. Scholler. Dr. Scholler says, "We always knew Dan Wooten is a hypocrite and an opportunist." This was back in September. Opportunist who projects his inferiority complex on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. A videographer just happened to be here for this moment of quiet reflection. Huh. Well, if you guys remember, being the opportunist that he is, Dan Wooten went to the Buckingham Palace, and according to this Andy McCarroll, "Hi Dan, I was beside you there today. Nothing says quiet reflection like doing 4 takes of that video, then directing your friend to make sure you get the shot of me praying after I lay the flowers and checking the video after each effort." And then it was alleged that he didn't even bring flowers. They said he picked up somebody else's flowers and put them down. But if you notice there, you can see how Dan Wooten was very quick to criticize Harry and Meghan for going to the cemetery that Memorial Day when they would not lay a wreath at the cenotaph. They went to a cemetery in the US, one of our military cemeteries, and laid a wreath. And of course, obviously, there was someone there to photograph it um, for whatever project the Sussexes may have in the future. So it was a twofer. Harry had a chance to pay his respects to the military, which he has done before, I will add. And so, how lucky the photographer happens to be here to capture this deeply personal moment when this opportunist not only did he go there so that he can, you know, should have a moment of quiet reflection, but even worse, he had several takes of his. Well, anyway, let me show you the video.
Oh, look, somebody drew a picture. Oh, that's sweet. How'd you guys do it? See there? Somebody drew a picture? No, but it's nice.
What a performance. So this is what really happened.
and walk. Okay, put the flowers down. Thank you, Morrison's. Okay, time for that period of quiet reflection you were talking about. Look as if you're surreptitiously trying to work out how to scale the railings. Okay, that's about 6 seconds. Turn and go. Great stuff.
Quiet reflection, take one. Quiet reflection, take So I made a video at the time about Dan Wooten's quiet reflection. Dan Wooten faced the second Dan Wooten's faced the second he described the Queen's death as the moment we hope we would never happen rather. So this, of course, is a screenshot of Dan Wooten reporting the death of the Queen. I'm This is the face of that sinister, sad little man when he described to the world during a period of mourning that the Queen had died. Yes, that's his face. And it should be no wonder what he's capable of, what he's capable of, what he has done, and what he's likely to continue to do. So quiet reflection. Right here. Now here's a couple of tweets from Dan Wooten. OMG. Prince Harry naked? Thanks, TMZ. Or how about this from a very professional media person? Prince Harry still manages to look hot in the North Pole. Love it. Not at the North Pole, but in the North Pole. I'm not sure what he's saying there, but yeah, so those are some of those rather interesting comments from Dan Wooten. May Pimberry wants to know if Dan Wooten is feeling like Alex Murdoch. Hello, this is Alex Murdoch, and I'm up in it real bad. Yeah, that's probably what happened. He probably got on the phone with Jason Knopf and said, "Hello, Jason. This is Dan Wooten, and I'm up in it bad. I'm up in it real bad. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. I remember the first time I heard that. I didn't know if that was Alex Murdoch or Mr. Haney from Green Acres. Hello? Yeah, this is Alex Murdoch, and I'm up in it bad. I'm up in it real bad. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, half your family is gone. I guess you are up in it real bad. Not to mention everybody else that died mysteriously. Oh, man. Well, you guys, let's just hope that plenty will be will come out of this. Now, here's another moment that I found bizarre. Don't know what to think about this. Let me see. Credit to whatever that is, raising so much awareness for mental health issues and stealing the show by bringing a therapy dog as his date. Now, just so you know, Dan Wooten is on the right. The lower left is the emotional support animal, not to be confused with Dan Wooten on the right. Kate's brother in a Nazi storm. So it's been said for some time that I'm not Dan, but James Middleton has issues, right? He's been suffering emotionally. He suffers from terrible anxiety, amongst other things. He's been in therapy. He has an emotional support animal that died recently. All of that's going on. The last person that he should have near him is Dan Wooten. When I saw this, I was so disturbed. Um, and all I could say is watch your back, James. Watch your back, especially when you consider this thing that happened. Um, just like with you know Harry's situation, when something like this happens, I think a person is probably in a bad place. If your judgment is that impaired that your marshmallow company, and if for those you don't know, he owned a marshmallow company right there that's telling you that something ain't right. But he owned a marshmallow company that laser printed images, custom images for the customers for whatever event. So for this situation, someone thought it was funny to put swastikas on marshmallows. And it's bad enough that somebody wanted it, but James Middleton, who I believe his judgment is very impaired from time to time, actually made them. And mind you, he wasn't a teenager like when Harry got in trouble. This was a fully formed adult man over the age of 25 when the brain is supposed to be fully developed that did this. It wasn't with any coercion from his sister in law and from his brother. This was something that his company produced. Now, someone in that state of mind being around Dan Wooten, like I said, I am haunted by this image because God only knows what he was up to. Elaine Babb, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. But yeah, let me see. Sure, my sister's going to be queen, right? Right. Yeah. Well, that just keeps happening with that family. That just keeps happening. Let's see here. And then right here, let us not forget Carolyn Flack. Carolyn Flack. Dan Wooten wrote hundreds of hateful stories about Carolyn Flack in the Sun leading up to her death, which were hastily deleted when she self-harm and gleefully continued to write vile stuff about others. He has accepted a huge fee to go to Hate TV GB News. Yeah. It seems to be as though he has been rewarded for his nastiness. Instead of failing down, he is failing upward. He seems to get a better position every time, like some cheap retail manager You know, one thing I've learned from retail, and I worked in retail before, is that the worst managers usually get a better job by the time they get terminated. They fell up. So that is the sad little man. Which, by the way, you guys, GB News loses Warner Brothers Discovery backing after a year on air, but gains 60 million pounds in investments. So Warner was wise enough last August to leave GB News to pull their investment out of it once they had a chance to take a measure of what type of television was being produced. I mean, you got Nigel Farage, you got Eamon Holmes, and of course, quite a few people that are not featured here, as well as Dan Wooten. Let me see. What is that? Wooten and Schofield are protected, and I fear nothing will come of this. It too will pass. That's what I suspect is going to happen. I really do. This is why when people say there's no way that William would ever leave Kate, and Kate's not going anywhere, we have seen them bend reality. We have seen them bend the truth time and time again. We have seen them turn someone as gracious and beautiful and kind and generous as Princess Diana into a raving lunatic. If they can disparage Diana's memory after everything that they have done to her, I don't think it's much of a stretch to say that they are perfectly capable of bending the truth or resetting the storyline anytime they choose to. And William knows that they can do that. Leading up to the coronation, we were force-fed a diet of it's Camilla's time, Camilla has earned the right. And I think the really low point was when that woman with that piranha face said that Diana approved of Camilla and that Camilla had earned her position. You guys remember that? That she had earned her right to be there. And there was no outcry, there was no outrage. It was said, and like everything else, it was like they opened up the window and just let it fly away. So yeah, I'm with you, Gene. I don't suspect much is going to come of it. And like I said, right now they're not even reporting it. They have nothing to say. It almost makes it seem like what's his name, Hugh Edwards. It almost seems like he has been used as a pawn in order to get this game to go in somebody else's favor. Now, who that somebody might be, damn Wooten, damn Wooten. Oh, excuse me, who that person might be, Wooten. I can't say, but it seems as though they Wooten, they are trying to protect someone else by exposing him. So this is the person who tweeted. It seems so salacious. I had to verify that the account exists, and it does. Is Alex is right here, and apparently, according to this, he lives in the UK. He joined in 2022, but I don't know if in the past when he tried to expose things, if it was with another account or not. But interesting, August 2022. Followed by burner observation, among others. Okay, but yeah, so this is a real account. Wow, followed by burner observation, Limrock, and 36 others you follow. That's interesting. I don't even know who those people are. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at that again. I don't even know who those people are. But yeah, that's his page. So he's a real person. He does exist according to this. You know, you can get a picture from anywhere nowadays, but we'll see what comes of it. Also, Dan Wooten has been blocking people. Now, as a matter of fact, I don't know if I'm actually blocked. Let me see if I'm blocked. I suspect I am. Wait, no, I'm not blocked. I'm not blocked. Let me see. The last post looks like it was. Let me see here. When was the last time he posted something? He retweeted July 6th. He did a retweet July 7th, and then it drops off from there. It drops off from there. Ain't that interesting? So somebody who seems to have tweeted every day suddenly just dropped off the face of the earth. My. As I live and breathe. Okay. Well, you guys, I'm not sure what that means. I mean, he's had this account since November 2008. November 2008. And I guarantee you there must be a lot of nonsense going back that far. Everything he hasn't removed, allegedly. Well, there you go. Mostly what he's been tweeting is the usual stuff. Okay. Well, he's blocked a few people, and that's where I got this screenshot from, but he hasn't blocked me. I never mentioned anything on his channel, so he really has no need to block me because I don't go on his channel. Lorna Williams says the only way that these people will go away is if we bankrupt the head of the snake. Murdoch just heard today a Trump supporter is suing Fox News for the lies using Dominion's lawyers. But you know, it's not just about profit. It's not just about profit, although they do make money. But the main thing that Murdoch, among others, want is a right-wing agenda. They want this right-wing agenda. They want to create fear of others. They really want us to have an authoritarian government to control the masses, because just like with the founding fathers of the USA, they don't really trust the people. Rich people don't trust free-thinking working class people or poor people to vote in their for their interests. They would rather keep us afraid so that we will vote against our own interests, so that we will have prejudice against others, especially people that don't look like us. That has been the goal of the ruling class, of the elites for a long time, is to make sure that there is division amongst the poor and working class people, because as long as you keep people afraid, that's the best way to control people. And hate actually brings people together. If you can make people hate someone, then they will look to you for all the answers, which is, you know, exactly what Trump has been doing all these years, is stirring up hate. And that hatred means that people that are full of hate, they look to him for answers. They look to him to maintain the status quo. Lady Macaroon character actress says, this is the real bottom line and what I talk about all the time. All of this is extreme right-wingism. All of this, including the hate against Harry and Meghan. Well stated, Baron. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, that's unfortunate for Harry and Meghan, because they are stuck between the rock and the culture war. They're stuck between a rock and a culture war. And that culture war means that anybody who has any type of love and concern for people that are not extremely rich, or people, as the rich would say, really don't matter. If you care for masses of people that have not received a fair shake in life, then that makes you the enemy. That makes you the enemy. And so, because of the causes that the Sussexes support, they have become the enemy of the right wing. And because of Harry's leaving the institution, well, he's also made himself the enemy of the royalists and the institution and all the other people in that cult. And because Meghan is self-assured, intelligent, bright, and very capable, well, of course, got to bring her down a peg or two. And how dare she bring that slave ancestry into the House of Windsor? How dare she? So there's several things where you can just check all those boxes as to why people get away with these things. Taken over the media, taken over the press, and also by the governments being lobbied to look the other way. Like, for instance, there was a law at one time in the U.S. where you could not monopolize the media as Rupert Murdoch has, and among others. But when they relaxed that law, then suddenly people like a Rupert Murdoch finds that it's easy. And also, there's another company in the U.S. called the Sinclair Group, and the Sinclair Group owns, I don't know how many radio stations. It may be thousands, but who listens to the radio? They also own billboards, right? They own a lot of things to distribute information, and they are very conservative. As a matter of fact, the Sinclair Group actually gave the local news stations across the country, especially in markets that are considered very liberal or very blue, very Democrat, and this Sinclair Group actually gave them some talking points, some very conservative talking points that these people under contract to do the news had to say every day. So it is a battle for the hearts and minds. And that is exactly what they're trying to do, is they're trying to own the message. They're trying to own the message. And what confounds them, of course, is the media. I'm sorry, the social media, which is why they sent that person to Twitter to take over Twitter, because there was too much independent thought on Twitter. And there was suppression of things that would cause, say, a January 6th. It was a suppression of anyone who was trying to ignite a race war or civil war in this country. Twitter deliberately suppressed those people, suppressed their tweets and such. And when they realized that that was a problem, if we can't control Twitter, then we'll destroy it. And that seems to be exactly what's happening, is that they're out to destroy Twitter because it was breeding too much independent thought. So where are they going to next? Of course, TikTok. They're off to TikTok. Daily Mail is on TikTok. They have short videos on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok. Amongst other places, they are not depending upon their web pages to push this hate message out there. They are taking the battle to the young people, because they're not satisfied that they have enough control over the young people, whether it's here or in the UK. I've seen some black kid in the UK doing some video. I think it was for GB News one time, where he talked about the royal family, and he was saying all this nasty stuff about the Sussexes and everything. This is a paid individual who is there to try and disparage as much of anything that is liberal, or as they like to say, woke. They're there to destroy those images, to create talking points, to eliminate free thought. Thank you for your comment, by the way. Parents slam the cost of Prince William and Kate's new playground in Windsor. Prince William and Kate Middleton are being unjustly blamed for not so warm reception of local playground for kids that opened Tuesday at Windsor Great Park in England, according to place reps. Place reps. Known as Adventure Play, it's located on the border of Berkshire and Surrey, but not just anyone is allowed in. Instead, they're charging £12 or $15.50 with kids under age 2 to watch the children play on the park's equipment. The park includes several wooden huts, raised walkways, and slides. And for any children between ages 2 to 15, it costs even more to play there, specifically £16 or $20.60. As a response, parents slammed the royals as inconsiderate of the poor financial climate currently plaguing the country. Many Brits have been struggling to pay their bills for months due to sky-high inflation and soaring interest rates, causing supermarket prices and mortgages to increase in price, much like in the United States. Now, all of that being said, why in the world are they charging anybody for a play space? This is not a theme park. This is not a theme park. Now, I have my sneaky suspicion that Kate probably wants people to pay, so when she starts talking about the early years, that they'll feel obliged to stay there instead of doing like everybody else and running for the hills. Or the other reason that they have this playground is so that the Kate staff could shake down some of those kids so that she can come up with another 5 questions for the early years part 2 or early years 2.0. I mean, after all, it seems as though the first 5 questions were lifted directly from that little girl on the TED Talk. So what better way to find the information needed, since Kate would never think of it on her own, than to trap a family and their children at this playground and solicit them for 5 additional questions. And solicit them for 5 additional questions for her to use for early years 2.0. I'm just guessing. I can't say that that's official, but if I had to try to guess why they're charging people to visit this place, is so that Kate could have some more material for the early years. Lord knows she didn't think of any of that stuff the first time around. BW, thank you so much for the super sticker, or the super sticker. And thank you so much for being a member. And as always, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Thursday to you. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. So let me see. Charging kids. So kids could play on a playground. William and Kate are going to hell. Let me see. Kate and William didn't bring anything to the food bank or nothing to the baby bank, but they're charging for a playground. Yes, they're charging. Now, the thing that, okay, even if the Cambridges or the Waleses or whatever, even if they have nothing to do with this, they live at the Great Windsor Park, right? They live there in Windsor. They have Adelaide Cottage, and they're trying to get hold of another property, but the children are in the area going to school, right? It would just seem to me that if you, and I hate to help these people, but if you really wanted to make a good impression, make this free to any and all comers. It's not Six Flags. It's not the Knoxbury Farms. It's none of those things. It's just a bunch of timber and slides and stainless steel and plastic. That's all it is. It's nothing special. It is a very, very big play lot. This is something Kaboom could put together. Now, mind you, this would probably be bigger than any project they've ever put together, but this is very Kaboom-like. So I think this is a terrible mistake, charging money. Terrible mistake. And they're so quick to try to give them the benefit of the doubt when we all know, I mean, come on, let's say it together. If that was Meghan and Harry, right? If that was Meghan and Harry, parents slam Prince William and Kate for cost of new playground in Windsor. Well, that's it right there. It's in Windsor. It should just be free. You already charge people to go inside of those castles and palaces. If you are poor, does that mean you're not allowed to ever go to Windsor? This is the tackiest thing since they opened up Windsor Castle to the public after the Queen died, and people were given a chance to pay money to visit the George VI Chapel to go and spend time with the Queen. That was also dumb. They should have had it free to the public for at least a week. Make it free for the public for a week to go to the Queen's graveside. But instead, it was business as usual. Somebody save these people from themselves. Somebody save these people from themselves. They know not what they do. And if they do know, then there's some very evil, wicked, nasty people. But if there's any chance that William or Kate or even Charles has information about this playground, then this looks really bad on their part. They should not be charging money for that, especially considering that poor families have fewer options day by day. Fewer options. So you go to Windsor Castle, and then if you want to go to this playground, you got to pay again? Seriously? Jacqueline Squash says, good evening, Baron, moderator, Squatty, and all of God's people. Number 3223, which is God's holy word. Well, that's because of that verse. Be sure your sins will find you out. Stay close to God Almighty. Thank you, the official chaplain of Royal Sussex, and thank you so much for being here, Jacqueline. Okay. Obviously, Kate and her copycat and paste early years planner don't know that children playing in the playground is one of the important activities in children's early years, motor skill development. Obviously, it was a missed opportunity by the firm, by Kensington Palace, and in particular by Kate, who I don't suspect um, would even know the difference. I don't even think she would know the difference. There's nothing about her history that says she knows what it's like to be in a family that's struggling. By the time she came along, or any memories that she had from her childhood, by then they were doing okay. So let's see here. But it comes down to this: there's two Britons, just like there's two Americas. There's a dueling existence going on where you have the uber rich, the 1%, and then there's the rest of us. And the 1%ers and those just beneath that 1%, they don't know about those types of struggles. They don't have an awareness of those types of struggles. It astonishes me, it really does, that people are celebrating this family, and I'm just speaking of Will and Kate and their children. They're celebrating their ability to hop on and off helicopters, to take frequent vacations, to have a house full of cooks and nannies, and of course, housekeepers, all of those things, chauffeur driven. And I think one of the low points recently is when one of the kids warned another child that my father's going to be king, and I could have, well, anyway, he threatened the child because his father is going to be king and he's going to be king. That is the bubble in which they exist. And not just the children, but the parents too. They're in a bubble. They don't know. It's the height of arrogance for someone to say, I'm going to take $3 million and I am going to make it my life's work to end homelessness with, and I'm going to even if it's just a start, $3 million. That's a drop in the bucket. That's nothing but lip service. That's committing money, likely from the Royal Foundation, not his own money, but that's committing money for something that is so politically charged. And believe me, he's not going to go far with that. He can't. It's too political. It's a lofty announcement to make, and that's as far as it goes. His father tried to create this utopian, prefabricated city, and that didn't work out so well either. Not only did he do it once, I think he tried to do it again in Dumfries or near Dumfries. And well, we haven't heard much about that. The homes are outside of most people's ability to afford. But if you have $1 billion fortune, I think people would look upon you with more consideration if you just brought something to the table, if you just brought food to the food bank, if you brought more than good intentions to the Ukraine Cultural Center while the country is in a state of war. If you brought more, like toys and such, clothes, real food, not brownies and granola bars, I'm sure people would feel better about you. Gift cards, gift cards, give them gift cards, 25-pound gift card per family. Now, there's another theory I have, and this is just me being messy. I think Kate had so much fun when she went to Denmark that time. I think Kate had so much fun when she went to Denmark that Kate pressured her staff to come up with some clever way for them to have a playground near the Adelaide Cottage. That's what I think. I think that that playground is really for Kate. She had so much fun with her one and only trip abroad, where she actually went to do something official, something royal alone. That was the only time she's ever done something like that. And let me tell you something, Kate, uh, you know, hand and eye coordination is not her strong suit. Do you? I saw the video for this. I saw the video when she came down this slide. There was an obscene amount of time from when Kate disappeared into that tube and when that tube finally spit her out. I don't know if she forgot to let go and people were afraid to tell her, Mom, you have to let go. But that's what I think. I think Kate was probably stuck up there for a a strange long period of time, and then finally she comes down. So um, let's see here. Black Queen says, Baron, get the metal detector. I bet the missing stolen jewels are buried under the playground. There you go. There you go. A convenient construction project at or about the time that those jewels came up missing. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. I think that if they went through that place with a fine tooth comb and a metal detector, that they are likely to come up with those missing jewels. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, she does. But then what else is new, right? Now, when it comes to playgrounds, these are two kids that I hope find their way to Windsor. If you guys remember, Kate was trying to communicate with children as she often does. And these two seem less than impressed, like most kids that have ever had to endure a moment of Kate. So, if you recall, one boy just kind of looked off into space, then the other boy kind of looked off into space. And then finally, after they heard much to do about nothing come out of her mouth, deuces, deuces, I'm up. I'm up. Yeah, that little boy say, I'm up. He threw up some deuces and left. Yeah, this is what y'all got me here for. What? Do what? Deuces. Let me see. Rachel Mara says, please say anus her I can't say that word. Her riverbooth. Anus her riverbooth. Okay. Okay. I'm ready. 1992 is a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. 1992, yes, a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. I lost my castle, and 3 of my children, 3, were divorced. 1992. Or as Sean would say, Queen out. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh man, I gotta practice my 1992. Let's see here. Loretta Goldsby says, I have come to realize that Queen Elizabeth was right, that Charles was not ready to be king, and she was a great dresser, coat dress, and all. The rest of them are all jokes. Harry and Meghan was the best of them. Yeah, well, Loretta, you got a good point there because Andre Leon Talley, who we all remember from his work in Vogue, he said that the Queen was one of the best dressed women in the world. And he made sure that he followed up by saying, listen, she knows what's elegant. She has her own style. And she's always, just right at every age. What a lot of us, including myself, thought was just kind of matronly and frumpy. But when I had a chance to look at things from Andre Leon Talley's perspective, I'm like, okay, he's got a point there. I won't argue with that one. I mean, when she was younger, she did the off the shoulders. She had the cinched waist and all that kind of stuff. And then when she, you know, aged, she became very age appropriate. So I think that she always struck the right note. It's nothing that, most people nowadays would wear. I mean, when you think about the Queen at 50 compared to J Lo at 50, there's a huge difference from one to the next. When you think about the Golden Girls and the ages they were when they started the show compared to the Sex and the City girls and the way they are today, well, things are different now. So if the Queen had taken the throne yesterday, I'm pretty sure that she would be a very different type of person by the end of her 70-year reign. So, and I'm so glad I listened to Andre Leon Talley because it made so much sense. Yeah, and it's not to say that anybody should like what she wore or even agree with him, but it's just looking at it from a different perspective. So, very interesting. But then, of course, there's Helen Mirren, who is very elegant. I think she's very age appropriate, but she wears some pretty amazing clothes. She's always loved her body, and she's never been shy about showing off her body. And so, I'm more into the Helen Mirren aging compared to what the the Queen was wearing in later years. But like I said, I'm open to it. I'm open to what he said. Ford Fiesta probably has them the way she dressed. Oh man. Okay. Let me see. How much more do I have left here? Where am I here? Oh, by the way, you guys, I saw this today. End of age still possible by 2030. This has been the life work of Princess Diana until she died mysteriously and tragically in that tunnel in Paris, right? And Prince Harry, for the most part, has been very much involved with what has become a a chronic disease rather than a death sentence. But it says here the end of AIDS is still possible by 2030. The United Nations insisted on Thursday, but cautioned that the world's deadliest pandemic could only be halted if leaders grasp the opportunity. So it can be done, but not 100% for sure that it will be done if people don't get their act together. So when I saw this, I thought it was worth reminding people about Princess Diana's work with HIV and AIDS. And as you can see, that was the time when she went to the hospital. She made that visit to a hospital, and the patient is not only a patient, he's also a nurse. And this guy has tears in his eyes because Princess Diana came. And there was even speculation, from what I hear at the time, that, is she going to wear gloves? Is she going to do this? Is she going to do that? Will she wear a face mask? All that kind of speculation. And Diana, armed with all of the information, went to the hospital to visit with these people in this newly opened AIDS ward and treated them with so much love and so much humanity that I just have to say, when I hear some of the nasty, negative things that people have said about Diana because of the tabloid media trying to rewrite history and even worse, trying to rewrite her history. I think about these moments. This plaque was unveiled on 9 April 1987 by Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales to mark the opening of the broader rip, whatever, as a unit for the care of people with HIV infection. That is the people's princess. That is the Queen of Hearts right there, doing some amazing work. So anytime I can remind people about this, I definitely feel obliged to do it. Here's Diana visiting with a patient right there in 1991. This is something that, she made a lot of these visits privately, and also she had public visits because she was trying to help people eliminate the stigma. And one of the patients that she visited when that hospital ward first opened, when this hospital ward first opened, one of those patients was estranged from his family. They had disowned him because he had the gay disease. Well, because they saw him on television with Princess Diana, when they saw him holding her hand, that family was able to reunite before he died. And sadly, the nurse that you see there with the dark hair, he lived a few more years, but eventually he died as well. So she touched a lot of people in some amazing ways, and we should never let that be forgotten about. Now, President Biden, I was trying to figure out why he was making this face. Why is he making that face? And then I zoomed in on that cup that they gave him at number 10 Downing Street, and look at what's inside of it. There's a little miniature Rishi Sunak in the cup, and that's probably it's just another attempt. Excuse me. It's just another attempt by Rishi Sunak to get that trade deal that he wants. So that's probably why they let Biden keep the cup, so that every time he drinks his coffee or drinks tea, that Rishi Sunak, when the cup heats up, Rishi Sunak, a little miniature Rishi Sunak pops out of it, right? And then when the cup cools down, he disappears. So that was an attempt by number 10 to try to get into Biden's good graces, or at least somehow to subliminally remind him that we need a trade deal, Mr. President. We need a trade deal. So that's why Biden was making that rather curious face, is because, his mouth was awash with Rishi Sunak. But I have it on good authority that President Biden had a discussion with his staff about it. And he told his staff in no uncertain words, let me see. What did he tell them? Hold on. Let me see. Okay, that didn't work out like I expected. Oh, yeah, that's what he told them. He said, that's what Joe Biden told his staff. Tell Rishi Sunak that I said,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, and speaking of ain't nobody got time for that, I blocked someone from Royal Sussex yesterday. Do you see the kind of vile, vicious things that they leave in the comment section? You see that? One word, fur. Boy, I tell you, where they from? One word, fur, this channel, trash. They have said Royal Sussex is trash. How dare they? So anyway, thank you all for being here on this trashy channel, according to this individual. Fortune has smiled upon me. Take a look at this. I received a book that I ordered from Amazon. It's called A World Without Sickle Cell by Peace Aditoro. Yes, that is a super squatty piece. Peace has been in these um, Sussex squad streets for ages, for years now. This book is an official romantic novel which highlights the effects of sickle cell anemia. The novel creates awareness around the importance of the choices people should be making before marriage. So I am so glad to have this. I can't wait to read it. It is a romantic novel that, features sickle cell anemia. So again, as I say, it's always good to look at the world through another set of eyes. That way we can learn, experiencing things as best possible from someone else's perspective. So peace is not just paying lip service. Take a look at this. Look at Peace. Peace, I saw her in a video. She was on British television wearing, can you see that t-shirt? Can you see that t-shirt? The shirt says the Sussex Squad. That's right. The shirt says the Sussex Squad. That's our Peace. Peace gets in the trenches. Did you hear me? She gets in the trenches. She will take the battle to the enemy. And also, she will let people know how fearless she is by going on television proudly wearing a Sussex Squad t-shirt. So thank you, Peace, and thank you for the book. Again, you can order this book, A World Without Sickle Cell, from Amazon, just like I did. Huh? Pretty cool, right? And right there, as I said, my mission is accomplished for today. I have donated my special RO blood, and someone with sickle cell disease will be the recipient. So people who are from the Caribbean in particular, and also I think from Africa as well, you may have the necessary life-saving blood for someone who is suffering from sickle cell. And as you can see, Peace is making her blood available to bring quality to someone else's life. So how cool is that? This is why I love the Sussex Squad, because I tell you, never have a more generous group of people in all of social media has there ever been. So thank you all for everything that you have done for each other, for your communities, and supporting all of the causes of the Sussexes. I think it is just amazing. It really is amazing, and it makes me very proud. It makes me very happy. As Peace once said, there is no denying that there is evil in this world, but the light will always conquer the darkness. She said that one time. I follow her on Twitter. And there is our Sussex Squad warrior right there at the last Invictus game. And you may recognize that ginger next to her. That's Prince Harry. How about that? Huh? How about that? What do you think? Very impressive, right? I think so. And with that, you guys, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you so much for your very generous contributions, for your comments. Thank you to the Mod Squad for keeping this the safest space I could ever be in on social media. And and thank you for 35,000, count them, 35,000 subscribers. 35,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. What's that? We have a birthday today? Whose birthday is today? Oh my goodness. Ingrid and Carolyn. Well, you know what? Let's dance out that one then. We got to dance it. We can't just say it, we got to dance it. Hello, Ivy here. Bye for now. Bye from Ivy. Bye. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy. Today is Lilibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor's birthday. Meet me at the Royal Sussex party. Church Nellie's gonna be there. All right, Ivy out. You know what? I have not come down from my high yet. As you know, I Oh, sorry about that. Princess Diana, Queen of People's Hearts and Boss Moves, just like the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and Prince and Princess of People's Hearts. Thank you so much for that. Oh, probably didn't hear that the first time around. But yes, and you know what? That seems like a good last word for today. Thank you very much. And yeah, I know people keep telling me stop blowing your nose, and that's so rude. So I mute it when I have to do that because if I don't, then you're gonna get an earful. Um, it almost sounds like somebody else, doesn't it? Yeah, it almost sounds like that. Yes, and one should never sound like that. Oh man. Okay, so let me go to my list. Let me go to the list. What an interesting day. I do hope that much will be made of all of these things because um, what they've put Harry and Meghan through, and especially let me put a lot of emphasis on the what they put Meghan through. We really have to put an asterisk right there so people will notice it, um, underline it, italic, bold letters. What they've done to Meghan, what they've done to Meghan, taking advantage of their power, of the media's power. They used it to their advantage, rather. So, okay, let me go to the list. So, thank you very much today, Black Queen, again and again, Elaine Parker, Yalibi, Nunez Diodario, Elaine Babb, BW, and Rachel Mara. Thank you as well. Again, Rachel, thank you one more time. All right. Thank you, Sonia Johnson. I don't see why anybody would have a problem with it, because what's sexier than a middle-aged man making all kind of uh, gastric sounds and um, winds and such? I can't think of anything more appealing than an old man letting air out. Good night, Joseph Bernal. Thank you so much for being here. Oh man. Let's see. Taking a look through here. Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you to our queens. What an amazing job they've done with those kids, right? Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, has brought this community of strangers together. That is incredible. Oh, also, you guys that signed that card of prayer for B10 Powell, thank you so much for that. Sadly, B10's mom passed away, and her sister is still, going through a lot of things with her breast cancer. So it's very, very tough time for B10. And, and as I say so many times, we're older, a lot of us. Looking at the demographics for Royal Sussex, we're an older group. And when you're older, you experience a lot of those things in life more often than someone younger on social media. So many of us have gone through this, have experienced something similar, and it never doesn't seem strange when we lose a parent. It's always they're there and they're not there, and that's a odd feeling. But so yeah, make sure you guys pray for her. And if you still want to leave some comments on the community tab, where there's a prayer card for B10 and her family, then feel free to do that. I'm not going to take it down or anything, so that will remain there. Let me see. I want to show you what it looks like if I can find it. I think that was from the 10th, right? Yeah, I believe that was the 10th. Okay, yes, that was from the 10th. There it is. So yeah, you can look for this on the community tab, and there's lots of words of encouragement and prayer and such. So if you want to go over there, feel free to do so. I'm just going to leave it up. I think about almost 300 of you have so far, so that was really nice of you. Okay. Oh, do you remember that video? The mirror cracked from side to side, back and around, and upside down from the royal road, in 7 years of bad luck and karma until the end. Yeah, I was very angry that day. I don't know if you are referring to that video or just in general, but I was very angry that day, and I made a video about the royal rodents and how all of them seem to have a certain look about themselves. And yeah, they're a bunch of monsters, all of them. Let me see. Do I still have that video? Well, I mean, it's up, but I wouldn't know where to find it right now. But otherwise, I would share it. But I don't remember what the title was. Do any of you guys remember the title? Do you know that there's over 1,100 Royal Sussex videos? 1,100 videos. And I think there's only about 20 shorts, but all of the other videos are pretty long. A lot of them are pretty long. I mean, as few as 5 minutes on up to 20 minutes. And even 2 and 3 hours with the lives. But my goodness, what in the world have I talked about for 1,100 videos? What is there to talk about? I wonder sometimes. Let me see here. Yeah, so it's over 1,100. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna take off soon. Oh, that's interesting. I just got through watching Mildred Pierce again. I love that movie, Mildred Pierce. Such a good movie. It is a film noir, but I hear the book is actually pretty racy. The book is rather strange, they say. Miranda Rios, good night. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Yeah, you guys go ahead and clear out. I'm just going to pick up a little bit before I leave. If you want to stay for a few minutes and chat with one another, I'll be here. I want to see if I can find that video. Oh, never mind. You know what? I just forgot what video I was looking for. What video was I looking for? I just forgot that fast. I just forgot what I was looking for. Oh, the ugly royal rodents. That's what it was. The ugly royal rodents. That video that I made when I was angry and frustrated. Let me see if I can find it. The ugly royal rodents. I'm going to say that had to have been last spring, maybe. I think it was last spring. Let me see now. Who was on the thumbnail? Speaking of which, I got to fix that thumbnail too. The playground. I got to fix that playground thumbnail. Yes, you're right about that, Lorna. I purchased a external hard drive. I did purchase one. I just haven't hooked it up yet, but you're so right. I need to do that because I have already lost some stuff not long ago. I did lose some things because my computer was acting up. So that's a good reminder, though, for me to hook that up. Should have done that a long time ago. Gosh, I don't know what the title of that video is. Oh, wow. I remember that Andrew Morton video. That was funny. That was funny. I think I had about 10,000 subscribers then. Yes, I love Mildred Pierce, and I love All About Eve. I think All About Eve is probably my favorite of the old movies. I love All About Eve. Great movie. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't remember what the title was. I just remember it was about how ugly the royal rodents are, how they all seem to have a look. I don't think I ever used the term ugly, but I did make it very clear what I thought about them. Okay. Hawkeye Helen, thank you so much. Thank you. What is the name of that video? Well, I mean, there's so many videos. It's no wonder I can't find something when I'm looking for it, right? if I can remember the title, it's easy. But if I don't remember the title, then and I only just found the Duke of Mexico. I only just found that one. You guys remember that one, the Thomas Markle, Duke of Mexico? That's the one that got me in trouble with Thomas Markle Jr., the Duke of Mexico. Oh, well, that's okay. I guess it wasn't meant to be. Okay. Let me see how many of you guys are still here. 1035, 1035. Yeah. Well, why don't we watch that one again? I'll find Duke of Mexico. Thank you, Sherry Ware. I will find the Duke of Mexico. That's the one where Thomas Markle said, well, I went over to my dad's house and I was going through and I looked at his computer and my God, there was the Sussex Squad and the Royal Sussex. Oh, how does thou dost protest? Yes, thou dost protest. Let's see, Duke of Mexico. Okay, there it is, Duke of Mexico. Now, if you guys recall, Thomas Markle was invited to Dan Wooten's show, and what happened next was, well, I'll put it to you like this: that was the most people I ever had on the live.
Thomas, I wanted to ask you about these vile individuals who refer to themselves as the Sussex Squad.
So I come to my dad's house and start going through it, and I look on YouTube, and my God, I see the Sussex Squad and the Royal Sussex page on YouTube and the things they post, and that's where I found that disgusting video making fun of my father just because he's going to the Jubilee. I mean, and if you look on the Royal Sussex page on YouTube, you're going to see exactly whose it is. It's definitely Meghan Markle. And if it's not her personally, she's definitely paying somebody to do it.
Yes, so that the interview was much longer, of course, but that was Thomas Markle's scathing observation, is that he realized that Megan was paying me, or that I was Megan, and yeah. Oh man. Oh, and thank you, Sussex Team Warrior. I saw this before. Thank you very much. But the Thomas Markle Duke of Sussex, I'm sorry, Duke of Mexico video, that was actually a team effort. A lot of those images that you saw in the video, those had come from a whole lot of different people. There was one I made myself, but the bulk of them were from here, there, and everywhere. And I just strung them together into a cohesive video where they, and of course, some of those are tweets and such. But yeah, so this was a group effort by a lot of people. And what was on the Twitter and other places, I just put them all in one place and set it to music, of course. And the rest, of course, is his and her story. The Duke of Mexico. Straight out of Rosalita, Mexico, the Duke of Mexico, Thomas Markle Sr. He looks like the love child of Foster Brooks and Aunt B. Or is it Thomas? No, he looks like, what was that I used to say? He looks like the love child of Otis the Wino and Aunt B. $30 pieces of silver to sell out your own family. That's the going rate. Now, someone else actually made this image. I added the Duke of Mexico at the top and the 30 pieces of silver at the bottom. But for the most part, this is someone else's image. And you know, at Royal Sussex, we don't take credit for other people's work, ever. I think it's very rude and disingenuous. So I don't always add the person's name, but I will freely admit that other people, as they say, it takes a village. It took a village to do everything that the Sussex Squad has done. None of us are doing this all by ourselves. So please do support all the other content creators, because it is a lot of work. And for some people, it's the second job. For some people, it's an only job. But either way, it's still a lot of work. One of the hardest working people, Petal, and of course, Ivy and the Lady Sussex. Oh my God. Lady Sussex does 1 day a week, and Ivy, I think, does 1 day a week. But the amount of information and the amount of knowledge that they put into it, and I have to say, I take my hat off to Petal. Petal, as I always say, and I don't shy away from it, Petal makes me work a lot harder, because it just means that much more to get things right. And Petal is like a master class of this work. So very, very important. Let's see. Okay. Well, I am going to get going. Oh, yeah, the homepage. I forgot about that. I left this blank, didn't I? Okay. There we go. All right. Thank you. I left that blank. Okay. All right. I'm just looking at some of your comments. Well, it's been 2 hours, so I think we're good. You noticed that too, right? As though he's had practice, I would imagine. Woo! Somebody's been practicing. Somebody's been practicing. Let me see here. Yes, Lorna, they are taking time away for their mental health or something, they said. And I agree, you have to protect your mental health, but come on, don't leave us hanging like that. You know, every Saturday morning I wake up and I'm looking for celibacy. Every Saturday. What a perfect way to start breakfast than having celibacy on in the backdrop. Celibacy is where I got jazz hands from and mouth askew. Yeah, that's where I got that from. They mentioned that Kate had the jazz hands, and of course, I was so inspired by that that I had to come up with this image of Kate using those jazz hands. So, if you're listening, celibacy, which I doubt is because they're very busy too. But if they're listening, if you guys can inbox them some kind of way, tell them to please come back with a video. They are so good. They're so funny. But it's an embarrassment of riches. We have so many hardworking content creators, and we may not get the big numbers like the hate channels, but what we don't have in numbers, we definitely make up for it in spirit. Compton Cali Gal, did I tell you that I'm trying to figure out, he put a hashtag Royal Sussex on his channel. And so when I look at the gosh, what do they call that? But anyway, I know he watches Royal Sussex. He watches it. He watches it. I'm trying to think, what do you call that? But is when I look at the comments, there's a thing, mentions. He mentioned the channel on his channel. He sure did. Let me see, how long ago was that? That was like a month ago, it says. Now, it's only a 1-minute video, and there was no mention of Royal Sussex, but I'm going to tell you who he mentioned. Actually, I don't want to tell you who he mentioned because I don't want to mention those other hate channels. But it was the usual suspects. And for some reason, he put Royal Sussex and entertainment and Hollywood life, whatever that is. So yeah, he mentioned a lot of channels on the video. For what, I don't know. But yeah, that's what he did. But yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, it's too confusing. I was like, and I mean, I know you watch, but yes, Trenchtown. Yes. Yeah, since they're building playgrounds and stuff like that. If y'all got money for playgrounds, then, well, you know what, Ben.
Prince, Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
Oh, man. What do you mean? That gets me every time. Hey, Prince, Churchtown want $335 million.
Prince, Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
And they try to blame the Sussexes for giving the Queen a hard time. And here, the most sacred thing on the Queen's calendar is Commonwealth Day. The most important thing in the Queen's life's work is the Commonwealth, right? Nothing was more important to the Queen than the Commonwealth. They say it every year. And what happens? She sends her little nutty grandson and her equally nutty granddaughter-in-law to the Caribbean, and they come back. Not only did they lose half the Caribbean, they come back with a bill for $335. You done lost half the Caribbean, and you come back with a bill for $335 billion. Who does that? How do you go on vacation, all expense paid vacation, right? You ain't got to pay for nothing. And you come back, not only are you in debt, but you have also offended and lost half the Commonwealth. I don't know what could have been more stressful to the Queen. That and Andrew, the sick old man, those are the things that really gave her a hard time. That was the worst thing that happened to the Queen since 1992, a year which I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. That was the worst thing that happened. I mean, you know, for the sake of argument, yeah, Philip died too. But come on. Losing half the Commonwealth and coming back with a bill for $335 billion. Let's see. Can we get our Island Lady video? Yes, absolutely, Teresa McDougal. And I love Prince Harry, and he's bringing it out right now. Oh, man.
Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He is bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being, and behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients, living off the taxpayers of the British people. And British people are stupid, supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.
Give the people back their money. And the British people, they're stupid putting up with that nonsense. Well, when she says nonsense, my shoulders go up. I'm like, I'm sorry. Oh, man. When she says nonsense, my shoulders go up. I'm just like, I didn't do anything. Okay, love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all so much. You all are what makes Royal Sussex the great success that it is, and I hope that it will continue to be. But yeah, it's been quite a ride, and I promise you, I am enjoying it. That's how I'm able to do it every day. I really, really enjoy doing this, and thank you all for trusting me to do this work. that is more important than everything, is the fact that you all trust me to do this work. So thank you. Love you guys. And I will see you all tomorrow. Cue the Ginger Avenger.